now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 83, we talk about the world's greatest game of hide and seek, why it might be a bad idea to let a fish play a computer game, and so much more. I'm Mike Fish, and I'm always joined by my main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, my man?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here. Ocho Trace episode of the Waffle Box, the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitutions because it is the best part of Wednesdays. Again, for those who don't recognize me, I am Kush Hayes. Mike Fish, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm well. It's February 1st. My God, it's already February. It's going to be Christmas soon. Where does the time go? Where does the time go? How's your 2023 been so far?
Dramatic. Very dramatic. As you know, the 49ers are not going to the Super Bowl. And
who would have thunk having to rely on your fourth-string quarterback in the championship game would end up badly?
They did not pull that guy quick enough. At one point, I was just like, well, maybe we should just put the injured kid back in. Like, he can still run the ball. He can still hand it off. Like, it's not just all about throws. But, yeah, then they were just like, well, maybe we'll just put the running back in, and he'll be the quarterback. After it was a very good season, but ended with a very shitty game. Like, really shitty. Like, embarrassing performances are all around.
And that's where we connect. Both of our teams had a very good season, better than expected, but ended in a trash fire. Oh, there you go.
To be fair, that Purdy kid, like, he should not have had such a successful record as he did this year. So good for him. That's maybe the meanest thing I gotta say. Otherwise, that fight at the end was quite bullshit. But is it safe to say now, Mike Fish, that we are both go Chiefs?
Oh, good Lord, yes.
Because you can't vote, you can't cheer for the team that just beat your team.
Well, no,
that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
So under normal circumstances, when it comes to sports, my team gets eliminated by a team, usually my go-to is to support that team, because then the thought process is, well, at least my team lost to the champions. However, in this situation, there is no way that I can bring myself to cheer on the Philadelphia Eagles on a big game Sunday. No way.
You are not the first person to tell me that theory and that philosophy. And no. This is combat sports we're talking about, man. Your team got taken out by the Eagles. There's no way you can root for the Eagles. By the way, Eagles had a hell of a game this weekend. Like, I ain't taking that away from them. But now I want to see them get beaten by the Kansas City Chiefs, just out of pure spite and pettiness, and for the fact that they beat my team, so now they must hurt as well.
Well, like I said, I'm definitely not arguing for cheering on the Eagles. I shall not be cheering on the Eagles. I hope they all crash and burn in a sports manner, not a physical manner. That'd be cruel. But
Okay.
But like I say, to defend myself under normal circumstances, I'm kind of like, so if the team that beats my team then goes on to get destroyed in the next game, it was like, well, how bad was my team that they lost to that shit show? This makes me feel worse.
This is a whole different thing now. So for the 49ers now, our rivals are the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they were the Seahawks, but now we have moved on to a new rival and a new foe and a new greater sense of evil that we must vanquish from this soil. And that is the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, guys, did you really have to fuck with the Rocky statue? You fucked with the Rocky statue. That's how this whole thing came undone. What were you thinking? Well,
it's their fault.
Yeah,
trying to claim, look at us, the most famous person from Philadelphia is a made-up character who's played by a person from New York. Idiots.
You don't fuck with that kind of juju. It's taboo.
It's bad juju. But whatever. Stupid Philadelphia people. Unless you listen to this show. then you're one of the rare cool people from Philadelphia. But it's the other people, the majority of Philadelphians that don't listen to this show. There it is.
And I'm pretty sure the Philadelphians that do listen to this show will be like, yeah, they shouldn't have fucked with the Rocky statue.
And I don't want to talk about the Cowboys. They're also, I fucking hate Cowboys, but they suck anyway. They've sucked for like 50 years. But anyway,
Cowboys were our rivals in the 90s. We're past them now. We've been past them. With the Cowboys,
I don't think
Packers,
does anyone consider the Cowboys like their rivals? Because the Cowboys don't do anything. They just not
anymore.
This year, maybe this year, because they're looking good, and then every year at the end of the season,
the very late 80s and into the mid 90s, the Cowboys were a fucking dynasty. They're unstoppable. And then the Patriots became a thing, and just
the Cowboys won the Super Bowl in 1996 and decided, that'll do.
That will do.
Anyway, speaking of the Cowboys, it is National Texas Day.
Woo! Yeehaw!
Go Texas! Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas, boy. Woo, woo, woo.
Pow,
And even though I do that voice, I know several people from Texas, and none of them speak like this. But I'm still doing this voice anyway.
I'm holding a cowboy hat to my heart, and I'll live a little bow.
Shout out to those in Texas, and just for that, I'm repping Dr. Pepper for those watching the video version. Whoop whoop whoop. The best thing to come out of Waco, Texas. We don't talk about anything else that happens in Waco, Texas, but Dr. Pepper, best thing from Waco, Texas. Other than that,
gotta love some Dr. Pepper. Yeah, again, we agree on this as well.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper is fantastic.
Misunderstood. That was one of the jingles, I believe.
I won't do it all the time, but sometimes I'll have a Dr. Pepper with my eggs for breakfast.
What is in like you
eggs,
sip on
bacon,
the
and
Dr.
Dr. P? Of course, I sip on the Dr. Pepper. You want to enjoy the taste. You just
I know the way you kind of said it. Like I have Dr. Pepper with my eggs in the morning. I kind of thought it was some kind of freaky omelet you was making.
No, I don't think. I won't advise against cooking Dr. Pepper and eggs together.
No, it doesn't sound.
Although maybe someone from the Serb Squad would like to do that and send us a video. And please don't burn down your house because we're not liable.
It does sound like some idiot on TikTok would do. Look this, I mixed eggs and Dr. Pepper in an omelet. It's good for your health.
So I'm taking the Waffle Box Dr. Pepper challenge.
Or some shit.
I'm taking the Waffle Box Dr. Pepper challenge where we are making an omelet out of Dr. Pepper and eggs.
Hey,
Step 1, Dr. Pepper. See, now it's melting into a syrupy candy. Step 2, eggs. Now we scramble the eggs, and then you pour and you sift and you do this and you do that, and voila! Now you've got like
gloopy
caramel
mess.
Best case scenario would be like
it's gonna be like brown.
It's gonna look it will disgusting. Definitely be brown, but it'll be caramelized. Best case scenario, which by the way, it's only gonna make my heart stop.
Yeah, this may not be good for your health. So we do advise against doing that unless you do want to name it the Waffle Box Omelet Challenge or some shit like that, and then just give us
Waffle Box Dr. Pepper Challenge. It's a co-brand. Waffle Box Dr. Pepper Challenge. Don't do the Waffle Box Dr. Pepper Challenge.
Don't. Whatever you do, don't do it. Reverse psychology. Don't do it.
I remember we're not liable for burning your house down.
Yeah, well, that's just a good advice anyway, no matter what you're cooking. Just don't burn the house down. The roof is on fire. Anyway, let's crack on. Talking of omelets, let's crack on. Because you have to crack open an egg. Let's crack on with the show. Childhood games. A simpler time. You know, kids are now wandering around with their faces in a smartphone or a tablet or the Xbox 5000s, whatever they're onto now. I don't know what number it's up to now. Back in my day, we were happy to play with a stick and dig some holes in the dirt.
Did your stick have a hoop as well?
No, just a stick.
Just a stick. Okay.
Yeah, you just try to draw shapes.
Hey, It's in the Toy Hall of Fame for a reason.
Exactly.
It's in the Toy Hall of Fame for a reason.
Or like a cardboard box, and you like imagine it was a spaceship.
I had so much fun with cardboard boxes as a child.
I have one vivid memory, right, of my childhood that I think my parents, I believe it was a fridge freezer, one of those like on top of the other combo. So the box was huge. Those are the best kind of boxes. And it was like big enough where you could like lay the two boxes side by side. You could like lay completely flat inside this cardboard box. And you know what I remember imagining that it was?
What?
A coffin.
Oh.
How fucking dark is that? I'm like, I look back at my child, I'm like, geez, that explains a lot. I'm a weirdo. But yeah,
you were curious about death at the time, obviously. No, my earliest.
I was just really tired, and I was like, I'm just gonna pretend hey, bro, I'm just gonna pretend I'm dead, and I just wanted to take a nap. Maybe that was it. Maybe I'm just trying to get up excuses.
Let's go with that.
I wasn't weird as a kid.
No, you're a little weird. You're a weird kid. But
anyway, your favorite box memories?
I don't even know if it's my favorite box memory, but it's one that I always still hang on to. We had the box. I want to say, I don't know if it was a computer monitor box because those things were fucking huge, or if it was a microwave oven box, or even a refrigerator box, but it was a big ass box. And I was using it as a fort. And so I pulled the box over me. I could probably, if I wasn't crouching, I could at least stand up in it. And then when I went to flip the box back up, we had just had a power outage at the same time. The entire block was blacked out, but I didn't understand that and thought, uh-oh, we fucked up now. Now everything's dark.
You thought maybe like into the weird universe where it's, oh no, I've come through to the other side. It was dark.
I then went on to stab myself in the chest with a pencil by accident because, again, don't do stupid things like crawl or run with sharp objects, kids. So
come on, Kush. Everyone knows if you're gonna crawl around with a sharp object, you put it between your teeth like a man.
I was like 6. I don't know. So I stabbed myself.
Jack Burton taught you nothing.
Jack Burton was not a thing for me at that. Jack Burton's still another year away from me.
Yeah, when was Big Trouble? Was that 96?
96? No, sir. No, 86.
Oh, I knew it had a 6 in it.
There
we go.
Oh my.
Anyway, speaking of childhood games, another one of these crazy childhood games that I used to hate, to be honest. Hide and seek. Not a big fan of that game. Or as I believe in some avenues over here in these United States of wacky Americas, some people call it hide and go seek.
Yeah.
If anything, it should be ways. It should be it sounds like an instruction. If anything, if you're going to put a go in it, it should be like, hey, go hide. I'll seek.
Go hide and go seek. It was probably that long too, once upon a time.
Speaking of long, and we're not talking about penises again this week.
I hope not, because there are children involved.
Took part in what might be the longest hide and seek game ever. Maybe not the longest. I'm sure there's some crazy ones where some idiot's still hiding.
I'm sure once he felt the ship leaving the harbor, he went, uh-oh.
So yes, a 15-year-old boy accidentally locked himself into a shipping container during a game of hide and seek and was discovered a week later in another country. The teen from Bangladesh, identified only by his first name, Fahim, was playing with friends in the port city of Chittagong on January 11th when he hid inside the container and fell asleep, according to India Times. First mistake right there. Well, there's several mistakes in this. One, if you're playing hide and seek, so is a shipping container, obviously by
15's a dock. A little old to be playing hide and seek.
Also, yeah, but what are you doing?
Okay, and I forget what country he's out of, but most kids actually at that age have the full-time job, assuming they're not in school also.
Haven't you, Bangladesh? Haven't you got
Bangladesh.
Cheap
Yeah,
t-shirts to make for
be...
lazy Americans. Huh? You doing skiving off? That wasn't a real joke. It's commentary. It's commentary. It's
Jehovah.
bad. But it happens.
Commentary.
Let's not try to, let's not try to hide from this, huh? Attack the facts. But also, yeah, don't go into a shipping container when you're playing hide and seek. That doesn't seem like a smart thing to do.
Don't be on the shipping vessel. Don't be on the shipping vessel. How about that?
Also, while he was hiding in the container, he fell asleep. If you're playing hide and seek and you're in your hiding position and no one has found you in such a long time that you're like, I'm pretty sleepy, I might take a nap. End the game. Just be like, all right, this is boring now because if no one's found me, I'm going home.
I'm a really good hider. I'm such a good hider. I had to take a nap and you still didn't find me. I was snoring and all that.
Because even at that point, if you walk out,
voice.
If you leave the shipping container and matey goes, "Ha, found you," you go, "No, fuck, I've been gone hours. You suck at this game. I win." So yes, the container was then loaded onto a commercial ship. Yep, that should have woke you up. Bang on the side, but maybe by that point, no one can hear you.
It probably
no one can
did
hear you scream. Quote, the boy was just believed to have entered the container, fell asleep, and found himself here. Malaysian Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail. Why would you have to put, if there's a man, I appreciate he's a home minister, so he's someone important, but if this guy has 5 names, do you need to put them all in the article?
Yeah.
Again,
also,
this all comes back
to the banging container because there were other containers filled with human beings banging away.
Well, that was a theory that they thought he was entangled in a human trafficking scheme until they found out no, he's just an idiot playing hide and seek when he's 15.
So if he's an idiot, he gets to go home, but folks that are being human trafficked are still out there on those streets, on those gritty streets.
Well, then this gives ideas to human traffickers. I hope no human traffickers are listening to this show. But it was like, let's just find kids and be like, hey, want to play hide and seek? They're going to catch a couple of them.
Doing that already.
But yeah, again,
if you just thought it up right now, this very second, Mike, I guarantee you that has happened.
Yeah, I was about to say I hope so, because obviously I hope not. But I kind of hope so, because the worst, it would be horrible if it just happens, some human trafficker is watching the show and he's like,
if it is happening now.
Oh my God, thank you, Mike. Why didn't I think of that? And suddenly I'm responsible for the whole ruined lives. That'd be,
It's the new TikTok challenge, the Waffle Box human trafficking challenge.
Yes. I don't think that one's going to go as viral as we think, but you never know. Hey, no publicity is bad publicity.
All right, well, until we get to court. Till we get to court, buddy. They're going to arrest us.
Oh, my God. If this clip is going to be
more free speech.
Exhibit A, Your Honor. Oh, fuck. So, yes, 7 days later, a starved and dehydrated Fahim was seen in a Reddit video feebly emerging from the shipping container. That's not right. This kid has been trapped in this container for 7 days. Yes, it was his own fault. He's an idiot. But still, this dude's been through a lot. And you're going to mock the way that he comes out? Like, as he feebly emerged like a pansy from this container. Like, Jesus, there's no need for that kind of thing. He's a kid.
So no one found him the entire 6 days? That's crazy. So that's what I figured had happened. Like, he finally got on the ship, was banging away at the walls. Someone was like, oh my God, there's a kid in this shipping container. That's now cool. Well, we're on our way to Singapore. So grab a broom and chow time is at 5. We'll put you in a little hammock over here.
Bless him, Fahim.
Oh,
yeah, what a wild
so many questions.
But also,
again,
New York Post, by the way.
Yeah, New York Post.
if I've said this once, I've said this at least 20 times on this show. If you have to have a word count on your articles, use that space usefully, if that's even a word. Malaysian Home Minister Datuk Ismail. Oh shit, I'm 3 words short. What's his middle names? Let's put that in. Like, we don't need all 5 of his names on his birth certificate in this article. If anything, that's his
might be
identity
his
theft.
Name. He might be a guy that just you can't just shorten his name. You gotta say the whole fucking thing like a Tribe Called Quest.
You gotta say driver's license just be massive.
Well, yeah. It's like this long as a it's like a 6-inch ruler.
Yeah. Or New York actors record-breaking phallic member, maybe. Back to last week. Hey, if you don't understand that reference, boys and girls, go back to episode 82 as we talk about a man's penis for 5 minutes. It's well worth
talking big dicks.
Big dicks. Anyway, so yeah, kids playing hide and seek. Don't go into a shipping container. 2, if you haven't been found by the time you're like, it's my bedtime, go home. Don't sleep in the shipping container. If you've learned anything, it's educational already. There you go.
Don't go into any shipping containers. Do go into as many abandoned refrigerators as you can. And if you get burnt, rub some butter on it.
Yes.
Also, not liable if that burn turns worse because of the butter, or you suffocate from the refrigerator. We're not liable.
If you do hide in the refrigerator, if during the game of hide and seek there is a nuclear explosion, you'll be safe.
Probably.
That's been proven.
Well, no. Today's modern day refrigerators are mostly plastic. Your Indiana Jones reference, that thing was made out of steel. Right.
What refrigerators ever made out of steel? Unless it's like a big
in the early 40s and 50s,
restaurant kind of style thing.
They built them to last back in those days, Mike.
No, they don't make them like that anymore. As they say,
they don't. They make them out of plastic and glass now, and they break down very simply. Also, you need to have an internet connection for your fucking refrigerator these days.
My fridge is not connected to the internet, thankfully. Mine doesn't.
Thankfully, mine either. But still, it's a thing.
But one thing, talking about breaking easier.
No.
But this is on me. I'm the idiot in this story. This is what one of those things where you do something and then it goes badly, and then your first thought is you're angry because 1, it happened, but 2, you're like, why didn't I see this happening? I'm an idiot.
Often.
So often. Me and my wife, we were cleaning out the fridge. My wife, we was cleaning out the fridge, and so she takes the fridge, the shelving. It's got some glass in it.
Oh.
So she takes out the glass from the fridge and goes, "Can you clean this?" And my first thought, like an idiot, was, "Yeah, sure. I'll take this cold bit of glass that has been sitting in the fridge for 2 years, and I'm going to run it under hot water." What could the worst thing that happen? And so I was like,
your refrigerator or your freezer?
The refrigerator. So I was
like, amazing.
Wash. This glass shattered in my hand.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's great. So like that's amazing. That means your refrigerator is running that freaking cold. Okay. This wasn't your freezer, this was your refrigerator.
Gotta keep those beverages cold.
Fair enough. Shit, mission accomplished. But now you have to spend $80 to replace that shelf. Yes,
I did.
That's how much those
I
things
did indeed
cost.
because I mean I'm sure there are easier ways to doing it, but just for the because obviously at the time this wasn't one of those. Hey, let me shop around a bit. This was one of those moments where my angry wife was like, "You need to fix this now, you fucking idiot." Which is like, again, that's
Angry wife.
yeah, and it's it's the worst when your wife is angry with you,
Right,
but you know she's
everyone take
right.
Take a knee.
But she's right, so you just have to sit there and take it. You're like, fuck, I deserve this. I'm an idiot. So I had to go to like the manufacturer's website and make sure, because I didn't want to order something and then get it and it's the wrong size and have to go through the whole, you know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put in the make and model, order the fucking thing, and yeah, it was like $70 for this fucking sheet of glass.
Also, the scary part of that whole transaction is sometimes those parts get discontinued. Like, we only made 1,000 of them and you're 1,004. Sorry, you're not getting a new shelf. We don't do that no more.
That would
We're
be
on to
horrible.
our internet connected refrigerator.
Well, like, even though mine isn't a refrigerator from the future where it talks to you like that commercial with Keenan Thomas where it makes ice jokes. But when we moved in 2019, our landlady like bought a brand new fridge freezer for us. So it's relatively new. So the parts were easy to get.
Dig it. Yeah, 2019, thankfully, still accessible. We just got a new refrigerator sometime within the last 12 months. And the refrigerator we were rocking prior to that, all metal grating. Okay, like, like, think of a shopping cart, or think of your previous refrigerator. Like, there's no glass involved.
because then sometimes, like, if you put the beer in it falls down the little hole. Obviously, it's not gonna. It's off, and you have to like try to fit it right. And it's I can't do that. Just give me a solid shelf.
If that's your biggest problem, good for you. Because the biggest problem with those shelves is something is leaking. It leaks on everything under it, and you're just like, oh, great, my steak is now covered in raw milk or an egg or whatever.
Raw milk,
something gross.
As opposed to what?
Sour milk, which
Cream?
is what I meant to say.
Cheese?
No, I meant to say sour milk.
Have you drunk sour milk? Have you ever drunk sour milk accidentally?
Accidentally,
that should change your life.
Times. Yes, quickly.
Oh,
quickly. It's not.
Life comes at you fast when you. When because I'm normally even though I'm the only person in this house that drinks milk, because my wife, she's like a lactose intolerant, so she has, if she does want like creamer for a coffee, she has to get like specialized weird almond bullshit, and I don't touch that crap. Give me the real milk from the cow's tit. That's where God intended me to get my cereal milk.
Goddamn right.
But yeah, even so, I'm not an animal, so I normally pour my milk into a glass and drink it. I don't normally drink straight from the carton. I'm not that kind of monster.
Mm-hmm.
But this one time, it was kind of like I picked it up and there's like not much left, and I was like, oh, it's not worth getting a glass. It's like a couple of swigs left.
Right.
Screw it. And so I just undid the top and was like, shot. And as soon as that hit the back of my throat, it was like,
yeah. I imagine the same thing happens when you drink gasoline or arsenic. It's violent and fast. Again, it doesn't settle. Your stomach doesn't have to think about it for like an hour. The fact that I
imagine that's what
milk,
gasoline is like.
It's poison. It's poison, is what I'm telling you, man.
Yes.
Like, it's that terrible. You literally just spelled it out yourself. I did a whole thing there. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful, and it's one of the most violent things that could happen to yourself.
Don't do it, kids.
Always check the dates.
Or check the dates, or be a civilized human being and pour the milk into a glass. Then that way you get that. Oh, that doesn't look right.
Also smart. Yes.
But as we've learned already this episode's on several occasions, I don't always make this a hard decision. Talking about not a
He's
smart
a dummy.
decision. I'm an idiot. YouTuber. Let's talk about YouTubers.
Ooh, I love YouTube.
Muti Kimuraru, aka Maurice. Let's go with that. Maurice. So he runs a channel on YouTube. Again, stretching this article out. It says runs a channel on the video sharing site. It's just YouTube. Everyone knows what fucking YouTube is.
YouTube.
Where
Who's your source on this?
This was on. I can't remember. BBC.
Oh, BBC.
I know.
Which is
Kush
wild.
hates me. Kush hates me when I don't quote my sources.
No. I just literally want to know who had to put the video sharing service. It's YouTube. Again, you're right, Mike Fish. It's YouTube. We don't need extra information there. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No worries. This is why we do the show. If I don't want to be interrupted, I'll just do the show on my own. That'd be really boring. Video sharing site where his fish plays various games in the Pokemon franchise.
Sweet.
Huh? His fish plays video games. I hear you say. The fish controls the game by swimming to different areas in the tank, which have been outfitted with sensors that simulate pushing the buttons on Maurice's Nintendo Switch.
Sweet.
So he set up this system to live stream the fish playing Pokemon Violet, which apparently is the latest entry in the series.
Sure.
But a malfunction during gameplay led to the Nintendo Switch returning to its home screen. No harm, no foul, right? That's a weird story. Well, so at one point, apparently in the stream, Maurice, happy that his fish is enjoying this game. It doesn't say in this article, but maybe he went to get a beverage. Maybe he went to relieve himself in the bathroom. Who knows? But he wandered off and the fish started going rogue on his Nintendo Switch. So once he went back to the home screen, this fish is going back and forth, I guess, pushing all these different buttons. And he goes to the Nintendo eShop. Hey. And his pet started spending Maurice's money in the shop. Luckily, only $4 was spent, but still hilarious. So no harm, no foul, right? Only $4 have come out of his account. Until the fish then also went to the settings screen and revealed Maurice's credit card information live on the stream for everyone to see.
Wow.
The fish.
How many ATVs got bought?
So the fish also managed to download an app to play Nintendo 64 games. Maybe you wanted to play the re-released GoldenEye. He spent reward currency on a new avatar, and he also changed Maurice's account name to RAAAAAAAAWAAAAAAA. Obviously not great with the keyboard, but still, he tried. And then
what's amazing is Maurice was gone enough for this much chaos to happen.
I know, right?
He must have had the worst case of some bad tummy happening here, because you just said, and there's more.
And there is more, because even though, we look at fish and we look at these dumb fish. Oh, you stupid fish with small brains. This is where I believe this fish knew what the fuck he was doing, because by the time Maurice returned, the fish powered down the Switch console. So Maurice had no idea any of this happened. And he found out when I guess maybe someone in the chat told him, or he watched the stream back. He had no idea any of this happened at the moment it happened. Hilarious.
By the way, it's a fish. It has a memory of 4 seconds. So also, it doesn't speak whatever language you're expecting it to speak. So there's no way you can interrogate. Fish, did you do this? Also, I thought Maurice was the fish.
Don't give me that innocent look. Take away your scuba diver, you bastard. Not Scuba Steve. But yeah.
Scuba Steve.
Again, even if you think you're smart, don't allow your fish to have control over something that has your banking information.
Yeah, that's just good advice. Also, it doesn't know it's playing Pokemon. It's just swimming around.
It's just swimming around. Yeah. I kind of want to check out his streams though, because I imagine this isn't one of those things where the fish is really good. I bet if you allowed him to control like Super Mario, he dies within 10 seconds every level. I bet it's really boring.
Instantly. Yeah. Which is probably why Pokemon was the best game you worked on. It's all just like
I guess RPG, so it's like just choose one thing on this. Do you want to do left or right?
Choose one of 4 things.
Do you know what a fish would be really good at? Do you remember those old I mean, what types of games they were called? I guess the choose your own adventure games on DOS, where it's like you just got a big lump of text and it's like, where do you want it? And you go south, go north.
So I know that style of game, but the choose your own adventure brand that I know of was only in books. I didn't know they had a video game, but I know of
to punch the guy and turn to page 67.
Yep. Oh my god, you fell down a hole and maggots ate your face immediately.
Like, I remember I had my favorite one. I had one of those books. It was something about Loch Ness Monster, and you had to try to get photos of the Loch Ness Monster, and it described this is what you see, but you only had like a certain amount of film in your camera. So if you ruined it all, you didn't get, and it's like to take a picture to go to this page, and you've turn the page. Oh, it's just a fucking tire shit. There we go. My child.
Choose your own adventure books were dope. They were very fun. Like the novels are still like 132 pages long, but the story, depending on which way you go, is maybe only like 18 pages. And then, by the way, you'd always like hold your thumb in place, and then go to the page and like, oh no, I just died a horrible, violent death. So I should go to that other page.
Mulligan.
Oh, okay, this is much
Mulligan.
Way. Don't tell nobody I did
that. So there you go, Maurice. Get your fish to play a choose your own adventure game. At least that'll be fun.
Yes.
Who knows where the fish will lead you? Anyway, let's move on. We're chugging to the middle of the show. And as always, we end the first half of the show talking about some people that are achieving some things with their lives. It's now time for this week's Dumb World Record of the week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
This week's Dumb World Record comes to us from, I believe, New York City, because I believe they filmed the show here, or either that or Los Angeles. I don't know. But this comes to us from Live with Kelly and Ryan, because everyone...
It's a New York show.
Fucking loves Ryan Seacrest for some reason. I remember it was Kelly and Michael with Michael Strahan. He was good.
He's not on the show anymore. Fascinating.
Oh, he left. He went to, is it Good Morning America or something?
Left. Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Which that guy is a trooper. I mean, obviously, hey, he's getting paid for his work, but you know, he does the Sunday night football stuff, and then he's up fuck early Monday mornings to do that.
Yeah. No, he's done it all. He does not need to party anymore. He just wants to make money and support his family.
To be fair, he was an NFL player, so I imagine he got beat up quite a lot for it. So I imagine just rocking or a couple of hours sleep's nothing to that man. But yes, this is you're thinking about. Oh, Kelly and Ryan, what world record did Kelly and Ryan break? Well, your answer is nothing. So they tried and failed miserably to break the world record for most sweaters put on within 30 seconds.
Okay, in 30 seconds, sure.
So the hosts of the ABC talk show, Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest, attempted to break the record for most jumpers, or sweaters, as you call them here in America, put on in 30 seconds, brackets, team of 2, during a recent broadcast, but they fell short of the previous record of 8. So, doesn't state it here, which is very annoying at the rules of the record, but where it's a team of 2, I'm going to assume that it's like, it's safe we were doing this. It'd be like, go, and I put on a sweater, and then as soon as my sweater is on, it's your turn, like, and we tag team it, I'm guessing. That's what I'm gonna guess.
No, I think it's just up to me to just keep putting sweaters on you.
Oh, maybe
why you?
that makes
Because you're the
sense.
thinner and the shorter one.
So I have to,
I'm just putting. Yes,
I'm not doing a Superman pose, so it's like easy if you just slide them on.
You're always doing like this breaststroke thing because I'm putting the sweater on, but you have to make sure that thing catches. Like, yeah,
it's pretty good. Like, well, God, if you're watching a video, I apologize. Just come in at the camera right now. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, we'll go with that. That makes sense. So they attempted to break. Which, sure, I mean, I'm assuming in this situation, since we were talking smart, because I'm thin, like two chopsticks hanging off a broom. But in this, I would imagine Kelly Ripa would be a fantastic, because she's short. God bless her. So it's like just easy. You just like stand still, Kelly Ripa.
And she's also a twig. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Michael Strahan would have killed it in this competition. Ryan Seacrest, I don't know. But guess what? All 3 parties that we just mentioned, like, they're doing like 20 other things. I actually don't know what Kelly Ripa does outside of that show, but like Ryan Seacrest has like a dozen
he's on like 20 shows a day.
Yeah. Same with Mr. Strahan. He's when he's not in a football game, he's in a basketball game or whatever. But he's always on the camera giving commentary.
He's
about
a hustler, baby.
Yes.
But yeah, so they tried to do it on the recent broadcast and they failed. But once the segment was over, producers Jan Schille and Jim Niebler decided to make their own attempt at the record, with Niebler helping Schille don the sweaters. There you go, you was right. A Guinness adjudicator on set verified that the duo managed to put on 9 sweaters in 30 seconds, earning the title as new Guinness World Record holders. Congratulations to Niebler, Jan Schille, and Jim Niebler for making Ryan Seacrest look stupid as well. So that's like two things you've achieved.
So a bunch of normies who got nothing to do with their lives trained for this, and then Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest was just like, so this is what you're gonna be doing in 45 minutes. You're gonna get drowned in sweaters, Kelly Ripa.
And they failed. And I bet that producer now every day holds their certificate of the Guinness World Record and just goes, "Hey, Ryan." And then Ryan looks over and says,
He's sending them video text messages, or just like him just licking the trophy or the plaque.
Yeah, Jim Niebler's like naked, but with the certificate covering his junk. Like,
Yes.
That's at least what I would do.
And you should.
Anyway. So yeah, congratulations to Jan Schille and Jim Niebler. For one, again, breaking a Guinness World Record, that's stupid. 2, showing up Ryan Seacrest. And 3, having names that are just super fun to say. Jan Schille and Jim Niebler. We salute you. Still to come on this week's Waffle Box. We're coming back after the break with the middle of the show quiz. Then we got the trapdoor where we're on the way to letter P. Kush is reviewing the movie Tar. Why not? And we end the show with our feel good segment as always. Stick around. Thanks very much. We'll be right back after the short break.
Now a world of magic is in your hands.
Hey, stop! Dragon breath!
Panasonic presents Omnimovie, a camera and video recorder in one. Capture magic moments forever.
Get a close-up, Joe.
Yeah. Omnimovie uses full-size VHS tapes, plays Hollywood movies or your own.
Here's right, Santa.
Don't miss a single Omnimovie magic moment from Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box, episode 83. Still to come, Kush is reviewing the movie Tar, feel good, fuzzy segment, and so much more. But it is the middle of the show, so it's now time for the middle of the show quiz. And this week, the quiz is themed to celebrate National Texas Day, which, as everyone knows, is February 1st, apparently. So, as we've always done the quiz, I'm going to ask Kush five questions. Name of the game is try to get at least 3 out of 5 to get the majority, if not 5 out of 5 for the clean sweep. If he gets a question correct, he hears this noise, which means he's very happy. However, if he gets a question wrong, he hears this noise, which makes you so sad. Nice and simple. Kush, are you ready for question number 1?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. Which state is known as the Lone Star State?
I believe that is Texas.
Correct. Question number 2. Which state was admitted into the Union on December 29th, 1845?
I'm going to say that's Texas.
Correct. Question number 3. Which U.S. state is the home of the NFL teams, the Cowboys and the Texans? Think about this.
Give me a second. Just give me a second.
Take time. Confer with family if you need.
I'm going to say Texas.
That's very correct. It's very correct. Question number 4.
Suck it!
Question number 4. Charlene
Number 4.
Spiteri is the lead singer of which band?
The Texas Chicks?
Fuck me, it's Texas. The band's name is Texas.
It's just Texas.
How should you...
How would I know? You look like a Charlene Spiteri. I don't know Charlene Spiteri.
Oh, they're a Scottish band, funny enough.
Oh, really?
And question number 5. Which state is the birthplace of actor Channing Tatum?
I'm guessing Channing Tatum is a Texas boy.
Alabama, obviously.
You win.
But still, you got 3. 3 out of... I'm trying to get 3 out of that.
That was good.
Yeah,
When I
good.
didn't know there was a band named Texas too, I was like, no, it's gonna be something stupid like Mississippi or something. And you're like Alabama. I'm like,
I wouldn't be able to name you a single one of their songs, but I remember, I think they were like late 90s, early 2000s, and they had a couple of bangers. Oh, Texas. I always appreciate a rock band with a female lead singer. Brings a little bit of different energy. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
Sexual, like a lady.
Was like Firefly. If you ever check out a metal band called Firefly, they're fucking dope. I don't know if I remember the lead singer's name, but she has an incredible voice. Yeah, that was.
I want to say I know that band, but I've also heard multiple things in pop culture just called Firefly recently. So
yeah, it's kind of a popular name. But there you go. It's now time to move on, let it go, where we are slashing the human population one by one each and every week because this planet's too damn populated in a segment that we call the Trapdoor. So yes, if you haven't heard this game before, what we do is I give Kush 4 choices of celebrities. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he has to decide which one gets sent down the trapdoor and out of existence. As always, he has to show his working. This week, we're working our way through the alphabet, and as I said before, we're chugging along, and we're at P. Letter P. It's a great letter to say. So the 4.
Popping peas. Precisely. Periodically.
4 P's this week are Mr. Paul Rudd, famous for somehow aging backwards. Paul McCartney, famous for being in the Beatles and then just being kind of annoying after that. Nobody likes Wings, get over yourself. Then we have Paul Hogan, famous for being Crocodile Dundee. And Paul Rubens, famous for going and inviting children into his home like a creep.
Wow. I feel like it's pretty obvious which answer I'm going to choose here tonight. However, I feel like I also might shock the world on this P edition of the Trapdoor segment here.
Wow, he's going to shock the world. Shocking the world. Get ready. Sit down.
So dig this. So Paul Rudd ain't going nowhere. Who doesn't love Paul Rudd? God damn it. The man is a delight. Okay?
Treasure.
You want to hang out with Paul Rudd, man. Like, we go out and probably get some beers, or we could just hang out and like play some VHS Clue. Yes, Paul Rudd will play VHS Clue with you. Don't ask me why I know that. He might even be a little too young for that. However, Paul Rudd, I don't want to imagine a world without you, sir.
I agree.
Paul Rubens, yeah, you've had your share of mistakes. You've done a thing or two that you shouldn't have done. It was very public. Some folks think you might have wanted to sacrifice your stuff, but you persisted. And while maybe in one world you were canceled, in another world you are thriving and you are feeling much more comfortable in this world. And you know what? You're great in everything you do. And while I haven't seen everything you've done,
everything he does,
everything he does is pretty great. I haven't seen everything.
What else does he do other than
Herman movie?
Pee Wee Herman.
He pops out a character every now and then. He's just, yeah. Trust me.
I'll take your word.
Trust me, Mike Fish. Yeah. He had a very awkward moment in the 90s. I think we're past that now. And yeah, Paul Rubens, you're gonna be A-okay, buddy. Paul Hogan, I kind of want to send you down the trapdoor, bro. But you know what? Your dedication to the hustle, and you made this. God damn it, man! I don't want to insult you, but you made this stupid movie called Crocodile Dundee, like one of the most profitable movies of 1986. You got Academy Awards for it. And then, maybe the rest of the career didn't go well. And god damn it, no one else liked those other two Crocodile Dundee movies. But yeah, you're not
What's
going
the one
anywhere,
where
man.
is it? What was the one where he came to America?
Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, wait, what was the second one?
Crocodile Dundee 2.
Fuck you. What was the one where he's in the crowded subway? Is that the end of
Crocodile
one?
Dundee 2? I'm sorry.
What's the end? What's the one where he's like chasing a woman in the subway because he loves her? Is that the end of one?
That's the end of part 1.
Oh, okay.
Yes. In part 2, he's hanging out in New York. New Yorkers love him, and then some ill shit happens, and they got to go back to Australia, Mike Fish, and that's where Crocodile's now on his home turf.
Crocodile.
He's
Crocodile.
gonna fuck everybody up.
Crocodile. Jesus. That sounds like an offensive nickname for someone. Was it called Crocodile Dundee 2? Back in the bush.
No, I think it was just
where it's like because the 90s they love to stuck a double entendre.
Well, so when we get to Crocodile Dundee 3, like 16 years later, it's just Crocodile Dundee, Crocodile in LA. There's no 3. There's just like no one saw that shit.
Crocodile Dundee 4, Crocs on a plane.
He would make that right now.
And I would just imagine how he managed to save the day by wrangling up the crocodile and leaping from the plane and skiing on the crocodile down to safety.
Dude, Crocodile Dundee is such an important movie that occasionally on film productions, I have to give the Crocodile Dundee speech. Whereas, hey man, you ever seen the movie Crocodile Dundee? There's a scene where Paul Hogan and his future wife Linda Kwasowski, they're at the fire, and then this native dude just jumps out of the bush, and he's just wearing blue jeans or whatever, and then they're talking, and he's a cool dude and whatever, and she's like, "You mind if I take your picture?" And he's like, "You cannot take my picture." And she's like, "Oh, is that because you think I'm going to steal your soul?" And he's like, "No, the lens cap is on." And then he goes, and he runs out of the back into the bush, and she's like, "Oh, I'm an idiot." And anytime I see a cameraman with his lens cap on, I tell him that story.
Magical.
By the way, Paul McCartney,
Crocodile Dundee in it.
Paul McCartney, thank you for your service to this world. You've come out with some fantastic and amazing music, but your time is done. And while I've enjoyed listening to several interviews you've done these last 10 years, thank you so much. Au revoir.
Suck it, Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I don't got anything against Paul McCartney. He's not doing anything else. We need to let other people do things. Y'all thought I was going to let Paul Hogan fall down in that shaft, didn't you?
He's my favorite Hogan.
Ooh, fair enough. That is a fair and accurate statement.
He's not releasing secret tapes where he's incredibly racist or sex tapes with his friend's wife. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Hulk. Brother. Fucking weirdo.
To be fair, Hulk's buddy there, old Bubba there, was just like, "Yeah, why don't you come on over and bang my wife?" Like, he set the Hulk up for that, and then like what happened still happened, and yeah, there was racism in there, and also cucking and lots of inappropriate sex.
I'm not gonna give Hulk a free pass here because he was into that kind of shit. Because hey, don't get me wrong, if at the right time of my life, and if I was feeling this kind of way, and my buddy of mine who maybe I haven't seen Bubba the Love Sponge. Fucking Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, so maybe she's super hot. I don't know.
Terrible,
so maybe a friend of mine was like, hey Mike, do you want to come over and have sex with my wife? Maybe in a certain situation, maybe I'll be like, sure. But then, once I get to that place, and he goes, "Oh, here, so here's my wife. Here's my wife. Proceed to do what you need to do. Oh, by the way, is it okay if I film it, then I'd be like, wait, what? What is this? No, this is okay. No, what is this about? This is no cameras. No cameras allowed while I'm working right now. I need to focus. How was that not going to end badly? And then he was like, I didn't know, brother, that the sex tape was going to come out, brother. Like, really? 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 Fuck you.
You heard it here. Mike Fish. Fuck you, Paul Hogan. Mike Fish.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about some movies. It's now time
God,
for
me.
What? Huh? Huh?
What? No one's interrupting you. Do your thing, man.
The voice is in my head again. It's now time for this week's Kush's movie review.
Kush's movie review.
Now, Kush, is this movie called Tar, or I know it's like a little funky A, so is it like Tear?
I think it's just Tar.
Oh,
yeah.
So they just put that little accent above the A because they want to be obnoxious.
Well, the whole point of this movie is that this woman, who's the titular character Tar, Lydia Tar, played by Kate Blanchett, she's a big old phony.
Oh,
in fact, her real name is Linda.
You're
She's
a
big old
phony.
phony.
Hey, this guy's a great big phony.
Yeah, so we're talking about Tar. It's rated R. It is 2 hours and 36 minutes, which, yeah, is long even for me. But to be fair, the entire time I'm watching this movie, I am on the edge of my seat. I'm like, I want to know where this is going. I would like, I need to absorb more information. Please tell me more. This came out technically Halloween weekend 2022, but we're talking about it tonight, Mike Fish, because it currently holds 6. I ran out of fingers on one hand. It's holding 6 Academy Award nominees this year, and that includes Best Actress Kate Blanchett, Best Director Todd Field, Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, Best Cinematography, and Best Editing. You know, I don't know if this is worth any of these awards, to be honest. Kate Blanchett is very good in this. However, a lot of the time I substituted her in my mind for Benedict Cumberbatch, and it was the same movie.
Yeah, I always get those two mixed up.
I did in this one. Like, so the movie is about Germany's very first female conductor. And by the way, within the classical musical world, she's a celebrity. Everybody knows Tar. Everybody has Tar on the edge of their lips. They only want to know more about this woman named Tar. And she's been a part of several other major orchestras, but now she's in Germany. She's doing her thing. She's got a book coming out. She has a record coming out. And then also she has a sexual harassment suit coming out.
Ooh, that's a full calendar.
Oh boy, it is, and it's awkward. It's awkward. There's a long time where it takes a while for things to spell out. You understand this woman once upon a time had an inappropriate relationship with one of the members of her orchestra, and then that woman just happened to be unstable, and then one thing led to another, led to a rejection, led to a suicide.
Oh dear.
Spoiler alert, that takes forever to get to. Like, you understand.
Yeah,
like,
just hurry up and top yourself, love. I've got a review to do.
You never meet this woman. In fact, this one character, despite the fact that she's a very important part of the story, you never see her face. There's a scene where we get to see a still photo of her, but it's covered. Her face is covered by her long red hair in a motion capture pose. Like, it's what it is. But
is
however,
that done
this movie is
to be like artsy, or did they just not want to pay for anyone important? So it's like just got an extra. Can you just flop your hair over
Probably
your face?
Both. I'm sure they would love to have had Julianne Moore or whatever hot redhead is out there right now, Anya Taylor-Joy. But no,
Carrot Top.
Who this woman was, ironically, is not important.
What? You don't love Carrot Top?
You know what? I appreciate Carrot Top the Hustler. I'm not a big fan of his comedy, but yeah, that dude has earned his success. So Carrot Top.
Funny story about Carrot Top, real quick.
Oh,
so
break it down.
There's a professional wrestler called Ricochet. I'm not sure of his real name, but Ricochet, and he recently got engaged to his lady friend, and I guess it was in a public place. I'm not sure where it was, but so he posted a picture on his.
I'm guessing Las Vegas,
maybe. So he posted it on his social medias, where he's on one knee. You know how a proposal works, right? He's on one knee.
I've been there. Yes.
And this woman's like looking down. Oh my God, this is such a special moment. But what happened was, I guess he didn't plan the location very well, and I apologize for those listening to this, so I'll describe it in a moment, but for those watching, you'll be able to see this. So you'll see Ricochet on one knee, proposing to his girlfriend. She looks so happy, and in the background, there is this giant poster of Carrot Top just going, like I guess I'll describe. He looks like he's about to jump on them and attack them.
Sure,
it's hilarious. It's like that is one of the most important photos in your relationship to date, and Carrot Top has ruined it, and he's not even actually there. It made me.
They have a good sense of humor about it,
or someone who knows Photoshop skills, and suddenly that poster is no longer there.
Oh, what would be great is if with those Photoshop skills you just swapped out Carrot Top for like the Millennium Falcon attacking the Death Star, or Bigfoot jumping over 7 cars, like.
Or the only way, or if they got Carrot Top to officiate their wedding, then that'd be a nice story.
I would not be surprised if Carrot Top went through the legal channels and could marry people in Las Vegas where his residency is.
Oh, you could 100% get Carrot Top to marry you for like $50, I bet.
Nah, he's charging about $500. Yeah. He's making a really good coin in Vegas, dude. Like, I know. Look, man, I grew up in the same area you did, where Carrot Top was a punchline for a lot of things, but like his Las Vegas residency is killing shit. Honestly,
can't let the hustle.
The hustle is what is up, dude. Keep the hustle alive. Carrot Top, Paul Hogan, full-time hustlers. You gotta love it.
Anyway, Cate
Blanchett. So, well, as I mentioned, this movie is nominated for 6 Oscars. That's why we're talking about this week. Are we going to talk about another movie next week that's nominated for the Oscars? Probably not. But don't worry, we got another 6 weeks of this stuff before the big ceremony. However, we're talking about Tar, and honestly, I don't think it's the best picture. I don't think Cate Blanchett is the best actress in this. Is it well directed? It told a story again that kept my attention, and I wanted to know more. And there's a lot of subtext in there that I was feeling it, but if anything, maybe this takes technical awards, but I don't see this picking up any single Oscars in March. But I understand Cate Blanchett might upset Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Having said all that, I want to give this a high 3, but I'm gonna give it a low 4 out of 5. Tar, go check it out, guys. It's available for free on Peacock if you have your subscription.
The cock. Hey, a low 4 out of 5, still 4 out of 5. Not bad.
Yeah, man. Like, I get why this was nominated. I don't know
Is
if it
it
deserves
artsy
any.
fartsy?
It's very artsy fartsy, and that's not a bad thing.
Hence the
But
accent
also,
above the A.
guess what? Bleak ass Germany still looks like bleak ass Germany. It's there's nothing really artistic about it. It's kind of just a cheap. It's a cheap point.
Yeah, no one likes Germany. I still haven't forgotten. Hashtag never forget.
Fair enough.
Bombed my local chip shop. It's a true story. My grandfather's favorite fish and chip shop was bombed during the war.
Oh.
Ruined his Friday night,
You
you
get fish
damn
and chips in
Germans.
England. Oh my god. Where
And
am I else?
other
Where else
things.
am I gonna get $7 macaroni and cheese in this city?
You really think people in the 1940s in England were going to a place to buy mac and cheese?
No, they probably didn't even have macaroni and cheese, but my example still remains strong.
Fish and chip shop, I got fish and chips.
Especially when you're in San Francisco and it's like, oh my god, this Italian restaurant closed. And you're like, oh no, where else am I gonna get overpriced Italian food in this city? Oh no.
The pain. If you find a good spot, I'm sure I've told this story before, but one of my favorite noodle places in New York City. When that shut down, I mean, there's a million of them, but even then, when my favorite one shut down, I was devastated.
My favorite Chinese restaurant became a tattoo parlor, and well, again, I'm in San Francisco, so like Chinese food is everywhere, but that's one spot was special.
Did you get a tattoo? While I'm here?
No, I did not. Although, how crazy would that be if I walked in there and like, yeah, chicken fried rice, and then they just tattooed chicken fried rice on my arm.
And every time you look at it, you cry. I miss you.
I miss you, Rose.
Oh God, the sad memories.
I do miss those.
I tell you what would be good right now.
Memories.
Don't know where that accent coming. You know, be good right now. That's like, is that like Dolly Parton? Hey, sugar. We really need a bit of pick me up. We need a bit of pick me up. So, do you know what'd be good really right now? How about a feel good story? Oh yes,
of the week.
Time.
I could get into that.
For this week's feel good story.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel good story of the week comes to us from Hendersonville High School. What? A high school having a feel good story? What? We're in the Matrix? What? Nope, you heard that right, boys and girls. So this 15-year-old boy, Sergio Peralta, which is a great name, and it sounds like he should be on the force. Peralta. Wasn't that a cop, TV cop or a movie cop?
Peralta, you blew up a whole city block.
Peralta. Where's that from? That's gonna annoy me now. Anyway, Sergio Peralta. Is that Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Peralta?
If it was, I haven't seen that.
You should check it out. It's a good show. Yes, 15-year-old Sergio Peralta had the typical teenage reasons to be nervous when he was joining a new school. Other than the usual, oh my God, I'm 15. Oh my God, where is this hair coming from? Why is my voice going funny? Ooh, what's this white stuff? Sorry. Anyway, he also had one hand that was not fully formed, so it wasn't nothing. It was like accident. It was just something from birth. You know, one hand came out regular, and then the other one just didn't form. So he was a bit awkward about it, as any 15-year-old would. I appreciate that.
Thanks to forced perspective, I've made my hand shrink here.
Take the good hand. He said, and I quote, "In the first days of school, I honestly felt like hiding my hand," he told CBS News.
Right.
Like nobody would ever find out. Instead, a teacher at his Tennessee high school learnt his secret and assigned his engineering class a project to build Sergio a new hand.
Okay.
Quote, "You're supposed to be engineering, coming up with new ideas, solving issues," Henderson High School student Leslie Jaramillo told WTVF, "and just make things better than how they used to be." So the small class of students spent 4 weeks designing, 3D printing, and sizing the prototype to Sergio's hand, and, as this article says, becoming friends in the process. After a month of work, they put his hand to the test with a game of catch, a hobby he says was once out of reach. I know, right? What was that?
Way funnier.
Yeah, why do they need that little pun at the end there? Like, Jesus. Oh, he's got a new hand now. We can make fun of it. Dicks. But, yeah. So Sergio Peralta has now got a mechanical hand so he can join the force.
Like Luke Skywalker.
And I know we normally end the show on a feel-good story. We'll end it on a high note. We want to be good. But I just want to roll back to the beginning of the show and talk straight to the camera. For him. Now, I know you want to have fun, play a game of hide and seek, but these people, these 15-year-old people in Tennessee, are building a mechanical hand for one of their friends, and you're out here dicking around, falling asleep in shipping containers. Get some perspective, boy. Fucking idiot.
That was awkward.
I know, right? Well, imagine how awkward he feels. He's made the news. Look at me. I've played hide and seek, and I woke up in a different country. Oh, what a cheeky 15-year-old scamp I am. It's expected of me. I'm 15, and then he reads this. The 15-year-old's making robotic hands. Yeah, how inferior must he feel? And rightfully so, Fahim. Get a job.
Inappropriate.
I mean, if I feel bad, I'm 30, how old am I? 37?
I don't know how to joke.
I'm making fun of children on a podcast. These ones making robotic hands, which, as we all know, will one day turn on him and strangle him in his sleep because robots are evil. It's a shame he has to end that way.
Cripple him further on that night. He's thinking about that woman who rejected him about his hand.
Oh, imagine he's like one. It's like, no, I'm not going to go there. It's 15. I'm not even going to jump it. No, cancel that. But anyway, robots are evil, and nothing good will come from it. There you go. Feel good story. I'm glad we ended on that.
Boom.
But yes,
this episode not sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, so misunderstood. Hashtag not an ad. Anyway,
this episode was crazy, Mike.
What? This episode was cray, man. What? But what else does Syrup Squad got to look forward to? Kush, are you doing another podcast this Friday? You crazy
we got Mike
son of a gun.
Coming out. It's gonna be a clip show, and what I mean by clip show is we're going all the way back to Kush and Kai, like number 8 microdose. It's old retro episode. Thank you. Should be fun. I think you guys will like it.
Nice.
That's it.
Awesome. And then TBD when it's actually going to get released. But myself and Kush Hayes, we are going to be soon releasing from our new rebranded extrawaffle.com membership service. So if you do want to support the show and get some extra content, go to extrawaffle.com and you get some bonus material. Whereas this first episode is going to be, we're going to be discussing this past weekend's WWE Royal Rumble.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. It's coming from a perspective, an interesting perspective. So the reason we thought this was interesting because we met through our mutual enjoyment of the sport of professional wrestling. But let's just say Kush isn't a weekly viewer of mainstream professional wrestling these days. Now, when was the last time you let's say I don't say religiously, because even I don't watch it like week to week religiously, but you know what I mean? When was the last time you'd say you was like up on the product, as they say?
WrestleMania 2019, I went to Portland to watch it with an old friend of mine. So I was pretty up to. I still hadn't watched the product, but I still knew who all the characters were, and I can't say that for this episode coming up.
So you haven't watched it in about 3-4 years ish.
That's right. I've definitely missed the last 3 WrestleManias.
Okay. So obviously I watch it a lot. So I knew exactly what was going on. And Kush, not so much. So we're going to be reviewing it from those alternative perspectives. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be to get our thoughts on there. And hopefully that should be out because we're going to be recording it pretty soon. But it should be out. Let's just say Saturday. Why not? Saturday, February 4th. Why not? So check that out. Go to extrawaffle.com, become a member, support us. We super appreciate it. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you do want to, why not? And we'll throw a couple of extra bonus episodes, extra content your way. So check that out. Again, extrawaffle.com. Another way you can support us is just, following us, tagging us in all that crap and letting people know that you enjoy the show. I am at Only Mike Fish. Here's
Kush_Hayes.
And of course, the show is at Wafflebox Pod for all the links of how you can enjoy the show, from videos to the audio links like Spotify podcast. We're now on Odyssey. You can go to enjoywafflebox.com for all of that jazz. I heard it because I was just watching the new Pamela Anderson documentary, and it all ends that it happened when she does like 2 months in Chicago, and he's like, "Oh, that jazz." Well, jazz. Anyway, until next week. Don't fall asleep in shipping containers. Take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.